Allie, what's up? Okay, so actually this one looks pretty good. All right, so what I'm looking at is I'm looking at the hips here. All right, and I'm gonna just keep the mouse right here. Just notice how it goes forward a little bit, just a tiny bit. So we make sure that, actually let's get the feet a little bit wider and drive the knees out more. All right, that's gonna help you stay nice vertical. So we also wanna think about keeping a nice vertical bar path. Next thing I want you to look at is your elbow position. So watch what happens as you dip. See how they're already moving? So the arms, none of that stuff should move until your hips and your knees extend. So let's focus on widening up the feet, driving the knees out, and then during the dip, I want you to feel the bar sinking into your neck. All right, you can actually see how that bar rotates. See how it rotates a little bit? Now it's out in front of you, but you're pretty strong, so you push it back into position. So we need that dip perfectly straight up and down. Okay, so that's gonna be a goal, and once we can do that, then we know our form's improving. Foot timing is way better. Back foot's hitting the ground, look at that. Back foot's already on the ground. Front foot's there. But when we're doing this practice, I want you to notice how you're leaning forward. So shift your weight back a little bit, get your chest a little bit taller, take the back ankle, rotate it out to the right. And notice how that shin is kind of forward incline. I want to see a nice straight shin angle. So take the foot, actually bring it out a little bit further. And we want to take the front foot and we want to step it back. So you're here, see how you're stepping the back foot forward? So you do that, the front foot's got to go back, and then the back foot's got to go forward. All that tells me is that most of the weight's on the front foot. So we need to make sure that front foot goes back and the back foot goes forward. Nice job with the pause. And actually, I think this really helps your dip. So watch the hips. They do slide forward a little bit, but it's not a significant amount. Okay. Back foot hits first. Front foot hits second. Okay. And you're doing a good job stepping the front foot back. So we want to emphasize, this is how it should lock out. Back foot hits the ground first, boom. Elbows, we want to be proactive and try to get them to lock out before the front foot hits the ground. In a real world, it doesn't really happen like that. But what we'll do is we'll prioritize elbows locking out. And then when the foot hits the ground, the hips will stop wherever the bar is. So really reach the front foot forward, get comfortable with being audible with that left foot. And let's be very aggressive with the lockout. And your dip looks way better in these split jerks than it does actually in the push press. So keep up the good work with those. You'll get more comfortable with that foot forward, okay? All right, on these positional deadlifts, all right, we want to pull it nice and slow off the ground. See how you kind of like pull it fast? You could tell too because you see a change in your back angle. Watch. See that? You just went from nothing to everything in like the time it took you to do that first pause. So there should be no change in the back angle off the floor, okay? And when we're in that pause, you see how the shin angles forward? I want that shin angle back more. All right, so I want to further back because the knees are going to slide back as you get up to that second pause. And on the third pause, the knees will slide forward a little bit, but we want to kind of keep them back as much as possible, and we want to keep the shoulders forward of the bar as much as possible. So I actually think this shin angle is a little bit too far forward, so get that shin angle back a little more, stay over the bar more, and keep the weight over the middle of the foot. All right, keep up the good work.